is why Raila and President William Ruto are fuming at Mawego's rebellion. Just when Kenyans thought the tragic chapter of Albert Ojwang's death was closing with his burial, the residents of Mawego cracked it wide open. On June 3rd, as mourners gathered under the heavy Homa Bay skies to lay to rest the slain teacher who perished in police custody, grief mutated into fury. Now the plan was simple: bury Albert Ojwang and pray that justice somehow would catch up with those responsible for his death. But when Ojwang's hearse arrived in Homa Bay, a storm was already brewing. Mawego residents, young, restless and livid, snatched the casket under the punishing midday sun and began a fiery procession to the Mawego police station. This was no ordinary funeral march. It was a symbolic pilgrimage to the very gates where Albert's journey into the dark belly of police brutality began. When they reached the station, the crowd placed the casket outside, as if to say, "Here, you took him alive. See, what's left of him now." But the gesture didn't stop there. In a flash, flames leaped skyward as part of the police station was set ablaze. The mob demanded the immediate arrest of DIG Eliud Lagat, the officer accused of ordering Ojwang's transfer from the Homa Bay police station to Nairobi Central Police Station, where the teacher met his untimely death.
Hatujiungi mkono. Kwa hiyo sisi kusema Ojwang apite hadi police station ni kwa maana ni huko walimchukua. Hiyo ndio basi hivyo tuna uchungu mwingi na kilichotendekea Ojwang. Tunaomba tu serikali.
Police officers watched in stunned silence, powerless to intervene as their workstation crumbled into ash. This audacious act landed like a political grenade. It came just days after President William Ruto's government was still reeling from the June 25th protest. Violent demonstrations that left several dead, police injured, and police stations across the country torched. Back then, Ruto's allies and even Raila Odinga's lieutenants had dismissed those torchings as the work of hired goons sent by former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua to destabilize the regime.
The chief goon is Mr. Rigathi Gachagua, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we must call a spade today. We must call a spade today, Mr. Speaker. You can see, Mr. Speaker, this is one man who is holding his community hostage, Mr. Speaker. He has decided to use his community and destroying their property and making and impoverish them in this country, Mr. Speaker. This is the Lord of poverty. This is the man who wants to make the community from Mount Kenya to become poor so that he can rule them, Mr. Speaker.
Junet Mohammed even claimed that arsonists operated in regions under Gachagua's influence, accusing him of stoking fear among Ruto's inner circle.
That there was no destructions of property in Homa Bay, there was no destruction of property in Kisumu, there was no destruction of property in Kisii, but there was destruction of property in Nyeri, there was destruction of property in Nyandarua, there was destruction of property in Kikuyu, there was destruction of property in Nyamakima. That tells you who the chief goon is. The chief goon is Mr. Rigathi Gachagua, Mr. Speaker.
So intense was the paranoia that Interior CS Kipchumba Murkomen gave security forces a shoot to kill order to anyone daring to attack a police station.
Na tumeambia polisi, mtu yoyote mwenye atakaribia police station piga yeye risasi. Mtu yoyote.
But this time, the flames erupted in Homa Bay, a Raila Odinga stronghold, lit by men and women who until recently were hailed as his staunchest supporters. Suddenly, the finger-pointing lost its script. Could Gachagua's shadow still stretch into Raila's backyard? Or is this a raw, organic uprising against a government many believe has betrayed them? Now, netizens are now asking uncomfortable questions.
Tunataka risasi ile kuna justice. Tunauliwa, Ojwang alichukuliwa saa 7, tunapeleka police station, aende huko police station, wamchukue tena. Tunataka justice kama justice.
Will Raila and Ruto's allies again pin this on hired goons? Or does this rebellion suggest the marriage of convenience between Kenya's two political titans is crumbling under the weight of popular rage?
Leo ni ile siku ya kumalizana na ukabila, kumalizana na chuki, kuondoa ubaguzi na kuunganisha Wakenya wote.
You see, when Ruto roped Raila into a political truce after the June 2024 protests, he hoped the ODM's leader's street influence would calm the storm. Together, they signed an MOU, vowing to unite Kenyans and end the cycle of protest, and even end police brutality that had paralyzed the country.
Ya kuunganisha taifa la Kenya iwe taifa moja. Tulete jamii zote za Kenya pamoja. Dini zote za Kenya pamoja. Sehemu zote za Kenya pamoja.
But since then, the streets have only grown hotter. The protesters today seem more fearless than ever, blocking highways, storming town centers, and even threatening to march on State House itself. Unlike Raila's traditional demonstrations, which rarely strayed beyond his strongholds, these protests have a dangerous national reach. Now for Ruto and Raila, the Mawego uprising is a nightmare. It suggests a new generation of activists who refuse to play by the old rules. And as the ashes of Mawego police station cool, one can only conclude that this new generation of protesters are no longer bound by political alliances.